In the following verses of the Purusha Sukta, the Vedic hymn moves from poetic cosmology to a striking declaration. The universe is not made by Purusha. It is Purusha. It is not created from outside by a god separate from the world. Instead, it is shaped, structured, and ordered by the unfolding of the Purusha's very own body. The hymn declares, "From him was born Virat, the visible universe. And from Virat again, the Purusha arose. When he was born, he immediately spread out, and from him the earth was formed, and from it all embodied beings came into being." This passage initiates a new movement in the hymn, from transcendence to embodiment, from unity to structured manifestation. It tells us that from Purusha came Virat, the visible, tangible cosmos, and from that, Purusha was born again, as if imprinted into the manifest world itself. Virat, the visible universe as divine embodiment. The term Virat is often translated as cosmic form or cosmic body. It signifies not just creation in the abstract, but creation as structure, visibility, and order. In this view, Purusha is not only the source of the universe, but also its form. He is both the formless ground and the formed expression. The universe is not a thing he makes, it is what he becomes. And through this becoming, the earth comes into being. Material forms emerge. Nature, plants, animals, humans, planets are differentiated. Law, rhythm, and order crystallize. Through his body, the parts of the cosmos are differentiated yet unified. This is a vision where spirit and matter are not dual, but two expressions of the same unfolding. In chapter 11 of Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna reveals his universal form, Visvarupa, to Arjuna, it serves as the most vivid and complete expression of the Virat concept. What Arjuna beholds is a colossal being with countless heads, eyes, and arms, simultaneously devouring and giving birth to the world. This cosmic form is none other than a reappearance of the Virat Purusha. Creation as self-revealing, not externally made. In Purusha Sūkta, there is no conceptual boundary between the divine and the material. Creation is not an act of imposition. It is an expression, a self-structuring, a divine self-exposure. God becomes the world, not to separate from it, but to experience and express himself through it. This is why the hymn says, "From the Purusha came nature, Prithvi, and from nature the Purusha arose again." This cyclical relation shows that matter and consciousness are co-expressing, not in opposition, but in resonance. Therefore, the world does not need to be denied in order to reach truth. On the contrary, truth flashes forth in every speck of dust, in every heartbeat of existence. And our ability to perceive these flashes does not come from escaping the world, but from entering into its structure and learning to hear its rhythm. The physical world is not dead matter. It is animated structure, conscious configuration, and it breathes the rhythm of the divine. A scientific bridge. Self-Similarity and fractals. As poetic as this sounds, modern science has stumbled upon a strikingly parallel truth. The principle of self-similarity and fractals patterns that replicate themselves at every scale, from the smallest cell to the largest galaxy. This idea is not merely poetic intuition. It's a measurable, observable, mathematical structure that mirrors exactly what the Rigveda once sang in metaphor. The part contains the whole. 1,000 heads, 1,000 eyes, 1,000 feet. This Vedic description suggests not literal scale, but infinite repetition, a recursive cosmos in which every micro-being reflects the macro whole. Let's explore this convergence of science and scripture. The intuition of the ancients. 3,000 years ago, Vedic seers envisioned the Purusha as having thousands of heads looking in all directions, thousands of feet touching all corners of the earth. They said the moon is the Purusha's mind, the wind his breath, the earth was born from his feet. This is not mythology, it is early holographic symbolism. Each piece of creation carries within it the code of the whole, as if a drop of water reflected the entire sky. This was the intuition that, in a single flower, an entire world unfolds. That the microcosm was the mirror of the macrocosm. That matter itself was not mute, but sung with sacred geometry. Scientific confirmation, fractals, and nested infinity. Now consider what we know from modern science. Ferns, leaves within branches, branches within leaves. On a single fern leaf, you witness a world rewritten. The main stem divides into branches. Those branches split into smaller ones, and the smaller ones unfurl into tinier leaflets. Each level mirrors the one above it, a reflection nested within itself. This is no coincidence, but a pattern of self-similarity in nature. In mathematics, we describe such endlessly nested, scale-invariant structures with fractal geometry. In nature, it is a language, allowing life to unfold the infinite within the finite, and complexity to arise through elegant repetition. Broccoli, a green melody of geometry. Broccoli is a living emblem of fractal beauty. Every small bud is a miniature version of the whole. Each spiral follows the Fibonacci sequence. Within its form, you find a resonance of the golden ratio and symmetrical order. This is an edible mathematical proof. The precise architecture of the cosmos exists not only in the stars, but also in the heart of a vegetable. The coastline's edge, a never-ending contour. Can you measure a coastline with a ruler? Benoit Mandelbrot once proposed, the smaller the unit, the longer the line. A coastline is a classic fractal boundary. The closer you get, the more you realize it has never truly been smooth. Every jagged curve echoes the whole, only at a different scale. This is not chaos, but self-replication within complexity. Nature's boundaries are not limits, but layers of unfolding breath. Branches and lightning. How energy runs fractally. A tree's growth is far from random. The trunk splits into branches, which split into twigs, reaching out to the tiniest leaves. Every branching angle, thickness, and path follows fractal rules, optimizing for light and water distribution. Lightning, too, does not travel in straight lines. It bursts, splits, and spreads before striking the earth. This path also forms a fractal pattern, as energy seeks the path of least resistance through the medium. From trees to lightning, the same structure emerges. Energy flows through the world in fractal form, efficient and sublime. Alveoli and the cosmos, a breathing model of the universe. The structure of human lungs is breathtaking. The trachea branches into bronchi, which further divide into finer bronchioles, finally reaching thousands of alveoli. Each layer of branching follows fractal principles, maximizing surface area within minimal volume for optimal oxygen exchange. Amazingly, the large-scale structure of galaxies in the cosmos also forms web-like, nested, branching patterns. With every inhale and exhale, you echo the galaxies. The form of your lungs mirrors the shape of the universe. Blood vessels and rivers, how flow creates fractal order. The human circulatory system begins at the heart and extends to every inch of skin. Rivers begin at their source, gathering streams and springs, carving valleys, and ultimately pouring into the sea. These two systems are astonishingly similar. Both distribute flow to the widest area possible with minimal energy loss. From the heart to the fingertips, from the mountains to the sea. Fractals are the wisdom of flow, the blueprint of how the universe draws its channels. Self-similarity is not mere repetition. It is meaning echoing across scales. Fractals are not chaotic spread, but the blossoming of order within infinity. From a leaf's vein to a thunderbolt's path, from the jagged coast to the rhythm of our pulse. Nature is not a heap of randomness, but a poem of structure. We and the cosmos are not two separate worlds. We are the same architecture, breathing and unfolding at different levels of the same magnificent oneness. A philosophical duet, finite and infinite in dialogue. The Vedic sages said Brahman is in you as Atman. Modern scientists speak of quantum entanglement, distant particles behaving like twins, connected across space. This is a shared insight that the universe is not composed of parts, but of relationships, correlations, and patterns of unity. This world is mathematical, structured, and sacred. The Purusha Sūkta captured this truth in a poetic and sincere expression, one manifesting as many, and among the many, the one sings. An eternal message. We are the universe repeating itself. If you look at your capillaries under a microscope, you will find they map like the tributaries of the river. Look at the lightning bolt's path. It's nearly identical to neuronal discharge paths in the brain. Is this mere coincidence or a hidden signature? Perhaps it is saying, the universe is the deepest wonder from that oneness, and each of us is a star shimmering in his eye. Fractals are not just mathematical curiosities. They are patterns of divine recursion of the universe. They show us that nature uses elegant repetition to encode infinity into finitude. Every system, from planetary weather to mushroom mycelium, follows this embedded order. This is Virat. The visible structure of the universe is the concrete manifestation of the divinity of oneness. So, next time you see sunlight filtering through tree leaves, look closely. The split of a vein mirrors the birth of the entire galaxy. The rings of a tree trunk mark the breathing rhythm of the cosmos. Science may strip away the mythology, but it does not erase the sacredness of existence. Instead, science reveals the code beneath the metaphor. Purusha Sūkta from 3,000 years ago is singing the timeless truth. We are the eternal song of oneness expressing as diversity. This is the hymn of non-duality, not cold, not inert, but alive with divine echo. We are not separate from the cosmos. We are not accidents in its unfolding. We are the echo of the cosmos itself, one of the 1,000 eyes of the Purusha, a singular shimmer within the boundless architecture of existence. We do not stand outside the universe, observing it from afar. We are the way it feels, the way it knows, the way it briefly shines in uniqueness it has never taken before. In us, the stars remember their origin. In our gaze, the universe contemplates its own unfolding. We were never separate from the divinity. We are its intimate, irreplaceable tremor in time. If you enjoyed this video and want to help support our channel, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.